Okay, so we solved for k, so we're just going to say minus 1, minus 1. Okay, so for this one, k equals 2, and this one, k equals negative 4. Okay, and what happens is, how we get two answers is that the absolute value bars, okay, are really bars that they're like a machine. Okay, so whatever you plug back in and you get an answer, it's going to cha-ching and make it positive to spit it out. Every single time, if you plug in 2 right here, what's 2 plus 1?
3.
3. You got 3 for your answer. What is negative 4 plus 1?
Negative 3.
Negative 3, but it goes through this machine of the 2 bars and says cha-ching, and it out pops a positive 3 as your answer. Okay, so that's why you have 2 answers for every single one. So if we look at number 2, we have our absolute value bars. And we need to set the equations up twice. So one with a positive 5 and one with a negative 5. Okay, how do we get x by itself? Multiply by 7. Okay, for both of these. So this one, you're going to have x equals 35. And the other one, you're going to have x equals negative 35. There's your 2 answers. Okay, how many answers should you have on all of these?
2.
2. Yeah. That's what I was saying. The first page is really easy, so, but don't go too far because I don't want you to. Well, there's other rules as the further we go. Okay, let's do 3. Okay, I got negative 6b equals what?
Negative, or equals 16.
Okay, what's my next one going to be?
Negative 6b equals negative 60.
Negative 60. What do I need to do? Divide by negative 6. Okay, and I did these all at once. Okay, so I got b equals negative 10 and b equals positive 10. Okay, for some of these, you're going to get the exact same answers. One positive, one negative. But some of them, like number 1, did you get the same 2 numbers?
No, you got 2 and negative 4.
Yeah, so don't get in the habit of saying like, oh, well, it's just going to be 10 and negative 10 and not solve the other one. Okay, you need to solve both of them every single time. Okay, do you guys got the first page or no? Marco? Yes, no?
Wake up, bald self.
Got your miss. Got it. Just make sure what we're doing. I need to know.
You said sure.
Okay, so look at 10. Okay, 10. This is going to be a 2-step. Okay, so everything before 10 is just a 1-step, meaning that you only need to move one thing in order to solve for the variable. Okay, number 10 is a 2-step, so I'm going to write it twice still. So 4 plus 8x equals 36. 4 plus 8x equals negative 36.
Where are we moving so far ahead?
Because the other ones are 1-steps, you guys should be excellent at them by now. Okay, so how do I solve for x?
Subtract 4.
Subtract 4 from both sides. So I got 8x equals 32. And my last step is going to be to divide. So for the first one, I got x equals 4. I'm going to do the same process on the other side. Okay, so I got negative 40 for the other one instead. And then I divide by 8. Divide by 8. Okay, so you should get 4 and negative 5 for your 2 answers. Okay?
How would we use this in the real world?
You're not. I mean, you might, but if I can't usually think off something off the top of my head right away, then it's probably not something that, like, you know what I mean?
So why do we learn things that we don't know?
I don't know.
That we don't know?
Because everybody's got to do things they don't like.
State requires that.
Yeah.
We should all drop out. Every single kid in the world we should all just drop out and see what happens.
Okay, so I'm going to set one of these equal to 18. What about the other one? For number 12. Negative 18. Okay, and we're going to solve both of them for P. Who's my kid on this one?
10.
The 10. So on both of these, we could say minus 10, minus 10. And you can almost do both of these at the same exact time, okay? So for the one, I got,
That's a 10. Oh, no. Yeah.
oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, and what's my last step gonna be? Divide. Okay, and here's where I got confused for a minute, and probably so did you. Okay, because our answer came out as a fraction, I went back and I'm like, gosh, did I do something wrong? Because we've gotten so brainwashed into making sure that they're not a fraction or decimal. When we talk about absolute values, some of them are going to end up being a decimal. Okay, so your answer is just that, negative 8 over 7. Okay, it does not matter if I write this three ways, and I want you guys to definitely pay attention. So, it doesn't matter if you put the minus with the 8, the minus with the 7, or the minus right next to the fraction bar. Those all mean the exact same thing. Okay, so don't get so hung up on making sure, because some of you guys look like, well, why'd she write that negative up there when it was really attached to the 7? It doesn't matter where the negative is with the number, okay?
I'm completely lost on this one.
Why?
I was trying to follow along, and then as I was writing it down, I just...
Well, then you do it. It's probably because you got the fraction. We all did too. So P equals, and this one's going to be 4. So these are going to be your both two answers for your problem. Okay, so fractions are okay. They are allowed and definitely encouraged. Okay?
I don't like fractions.
Well, we're not doing anything with them, so however you get it to be is however you get it to be.
I know, but getting a fraction for an answer confuses me.
Yeah, I know. It's just uncomfortable.
I get bamboozled.
Okay, go down to 17. So here's where the new rule definitely applies. These are probably the harder ones. Okay, you guys should be pretty good at 1 through 16. Okay, you guys should be pretty good at 1 through 16 because they're either just one or two step. Okay, the only difference is you're going to set them one positive, one negative. Okay, now look at the 17. Here's the rule. You have to get the bars all by themselves before you set them one to positive and negative. So, with the rule, you're always going to do the addition or subtraction first. And then you're always going to do the multiplication and division next. Okay? And then you can set them equal to each other or not. So, by that I mean, we have a negative 9, the absolute value bars, and the 4. Okay, we need to get the absolute value bars all by themselves. So the very first thing we got to do is our addition or subtraction, which is going to be this 4. So we're going to say plus 4, plus 4. Okay, so I still got this 9, negative 9 minus 5n, and I got negative 90. You paying attention? Because then you're going to be lost. Okay, our very next step is gonna be to multiply or divide. Now, what's this mean when these two are right next to each other? It means multiply. So the same rule is still the same. See how this is right next to the absolute value bar? That also means multiply. Okay, so you move everything on the outside away from the bars first. So our next step is going to be to multiply or divide. So we're going to divide everything by -9.
Wicked.
Okay, now are our absolute value bars all by themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they look like one of the problems on the front. Okay, now you can set them twice and say 1 equals +10, 1 equals -10.
Why can't you just do the -9 plus -4?
Because one says -9 times that absolute value, then -4. You can't just put them together because they're a multiplication and subtraction. Okay, so now we can set these twice. So we can say -5n equals 10, -5n equals -10. Okay, so make sure that you get the absolute value bars all by themselves before you set the plus or minuses, okay? And then now we can say our last step is obviously to divide by 5 on all of these. So I got n equals -2 and n equals +2. Okay, let's look at 18. Okay, we need to add or subtract first. So what are we going to add or subtract first? Huh? Not the 8. So the 8 is right next to that. What's it mean when it's right next to something? It means multiply. So what's the number that we need to add or subtract first?
9.
The 9. So we're saying -9 on both sides.